Okay, so the kunai is on rotation this week. Now, my good Tenno, trust me when I say you need to pick this weapon because it's actually stupidly strong. I missed the last rotation, so I posted this video for this rotation that's coming up. And honestly, it's disgusting when played right. And one of my favorite incarnons. Let me show you the way. Yes, you saw correctly. Who would have thought the kunai would do so much damage? Well, it does. And honestly, it's super amazing, just like you slapping that like button. However, there is one problem. It can be slightly tedious to play, but we don't care. We just see funny red numbers and big PP damage and we smile away. To the incarnate. What does it do? Well, when you charge your incarnate form, your daggers turn into heat-seeking headshot daggers with a lot of multi-shot. You heard correctly. It seeks out headshots, which means obviously we use Deadhead and Galvanized Crosshairs for that sweet red crits. Now, let us discuss the evolutions. The first one is obviously the incarnate form. The second evolution is you have Swift Conclusion, which increases your damage by plus 70 and then increases your damage by 200% if the enemy has less than half health. Now, this one may work for you if you're scaling to level cap, but base steel part, you are one-shotting everything, which leads me to the next one, which is Sage's Resolve, which increases your damage by plus 80 with a channeled ability active 100% extra multi-shot. This is the one I use, and I'll explain why. It's tedious, I know, but it's fun. And we love big damage, don't we? Evolution 3 is projectile speed, increased magazine capacity, and then reload speed. Honestly, I say choose between reload speed and projectile speed because you basically fully charge your incarnate form with one shot with this weapon. Evolution 4, we have Death Trap Trigger, which is unequipped from primary, increased critical chance by 40%, increased crit damage by 1.4 times for 4 seconds, then Accelerating Volley, which is increased fire rate, and Survivor's Edge, which is increased crit chance and status chance. Trust me, choose the first one, which is Death Trap Trigger, because we're going to be making use of the Cedo for a primer, which works so well with this weapon. This leads me on to the build. It's a weird one, okay? But just let me cook. Just trust the process. So we have our second evolution, which requires us to have a channeled ability active. So we need a frame that either has a channeled ability or one subsume, which is only Gloom. Quite literally. For this weapon, I chose Ash. Now I know it's a bookie ass build, but it works okay. You slap on Gloom over Ash's third ability, Seeking Shuriken for armor stripping, build for medium strength, highest duration, and normal efficiency. Now this is a problem because we have like 0 range, but it's okay because we only need it for the second evolution and it won't drain as much energy. And you're Ash, so you're always invisible, so it's easy. I know it's a bit of a waste, but at least you can get your second evolution done. And then we slap on Arcane Precision for more secondary damage. That is just the extra added on. You don't actually need it, but the bigger damage. It's just, yeah, bigger damage. Now, to the actual build. Triple galvanized setup. Yep, we haven't seen one of those in a while. But oh boy, it works so well with this weapon. This is the Riven setup. Here is my Riven. I usually never show Riven setups, but for this weapon, I'll make an exception. I got multi-shot and crit damage. You can go for something similar if you want. You can go flat damage and crit chance, but I would say multi-shot and crit damage is the sweet spot. For the Rivenless setup, we go the same, but Hornet Strike and then Lethal Torrent. Triple galvanized, prime target cracker, Creeping Bullseye, and then a Bane of Choice. Because the incarnate form actually applies an okay amount of slash, and because we have so much multi-shot with this weapon, it benefits from this a lot. Now I know what you're probably wondering, why so much flat damage? To be honest, this weapon doesn't need an element in my opinion, because it one-shots base enemies with priming, and then your tougher targets like Thraxes and Demolishers are armor stripped anyway, so they just get one-shotted. If you want to go an element, then I would say go Heat. For all the easy enemies, drop Hornet Strike, and then put primed heated charge in the replacement. Although I just found that because the kunai doesn't really have a lot of base damage, that stacking it up so much will help a lot and doesn't seem to give that much, if any, diminishing returns, but I may be wrong on this. So the Warframe encyclopedias, correct me if you want in the comments. I don't care. I just like big numbers, okay? This leads me onto the primer, which is the Cedo, which we make use of the 4th evolution for swapping out weapons. And the Cedo is amazing for this because we can prime the enemies with the glaive super quick and swap back super quickly and do huge damage and red numbers. This is the build we run for the Cedo. So how do we play this setup? Well, it's a lot. Firstly, you need to have Gloom active. Then you have to get your stacks up from Deadhead and Galvanized mods. Go up to the tanky target, whether it's a Demolisher or a Thrax. Armor strip, swap to Cedo, quickly alternate fire to prime them, swap back to the kunai, throw your knives to pretty much one-shot Demolishers and Thraxes. It's a lot, I know, but it's just so satisfying to see those daggers do so much damage, and I just can't get enough of it. This weapon shreds Demolishers, Acolytes, and Thraxes like it's nothing. So by the time this video is out, it should be a few hours before the rotation, and I hope I helped you make your choice. It's worth it and so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so more people can see the video. I'll see you in the next one.